What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 18 of Guardians franchise. We sit here on the cusp of opening day 2026. We got a few things to catch up on before we make our final cuts and get into the season. First things first, I want to close the loop on the first wave of player development lab results. Lonnie White Jr. was a little bit behind, and I think the trade was for George Valera, and he was taking a dev spot, so it opened one up. So we got White in there, but like I said, it was a little bit behind. As you can see here, his two-strike approach program concluded, no improvement. And yet, I don't agree because there's been some improvement. His overall rating did go up from 45 to 50. As you can see here, he's now 50. So what does that mean? Okay, so we didn't see the avoid K jump. It's at 40 with a 45 potential. However, he might have gotten a bunch of little knick-knack 2s and 3 points here and there that don't change any of the 0s and the 5s that we see, but are enough to move the overall up. That's at least the way I understand it, because those used to boggle my mind. I'd be like, why? How did he improve if none of the actual ratings improved? But then someone explained it to me and said, hey, you gigantic moron, this is how, because the 0s and the 5s are approximations. So it's not the most precise tool, and so there can be little gains that can change the overall composite without changing any of these singular individual ratings. So either way, he's still moving in the right direction overall. We like that. But I do worry about this avoid K on Lonnie White Jr. It could be a problem. That said, he's going to be in the bottom third of the order. He's got a good power profile with strong eye and a decent BABIP with the potential for more. Plays great defense, has high work ethic. I still love having acquired Lonnie White Jr., especially for Valera. Because if you look at it, there's just so much that Valera does, or not, I don't want to say does, that he is, that doesn't work with what we're doing, which is to say he's left-handed and fragile. Those are two things working against him. And I know the left-handedness, hey, that's how you are, and you know how you're trained as a kid when you're being taught how to throw. In this case, hit. And I'm sorry, like in this instance, it's working against him because we are so lefty heavy. And then the fragility, which you can work out of. You know, a player can have several healthy years in a row and kind of evolve out of the fragility, but I'm not betting on it. And the simple fact is Lonnie White Jr., better defender, right-handed, and younger, 2 years younger, I believe. So we're happy with that, even though he didn't improve the avoid K. All right, so then I wanted to look at something that I've seen the other YouTube managers dig into, which is their GM decision history. This is a great new feature here that kind of collects the plus and minus of WAR that you've got with the trades that you've made. And we're only a couple years in, so this will get more interesting the deeper we go. But I did kind of want to look at it after these first two seasons, and to 0% surprise, the same trade is at the top end of the both of the best acquisitions and the greatest losses. And it is, of course, that Heston Kjerstad, Kyle Manzardo deal, which isn't surprising. We never thought we were getting one over. It was always meant to be a win-win deal. Now, the piece that we thought would be a win for the Orioles hasn't been, and that is Gavin Williams. But Kyle Manzardo's more than made up for it. Scott Barlow picked up some of the slack. Meanwhile, two of our three best acquisitions are Heston Kjerstad and Kyle Stowers. So Manzardo, Barlow are two worst gives. Kjerstad, Stowers are 1 and 3 best gets. All in all, it's a win-win deal. That's fine by me. I'm not going to be hung up on that. Reynaldo Lopez in the middle there at 2.7 WAR. Love to see that. He's been great. Bailey, good pickup. Eflin was just a rental, not bad. So you see, we don't have a ton here yet. Like I said, this picture will get better. It'll be more fun to dig into when we are 5, 6, 7, 8 years in, and we're looking back and like, oh, remember that Heston Kjerstad deal? Now he's long gone, 33 years old, somewhere else after being a superstar for us or something. But anyway, I wanted to give a look at it. It is really fun. And we will be checking in on this regularly. Now, going into spring training, here were the preseason predictions. The way I understand this is that this is the composite roster, or your entire spring roster. So if you call up all 60 guys, I think it assumes that. I don't know for sure if that's been confirmed, but there's two different runs of the preseason predictions. There's the one at the very beginning here, and then there's the one when you cut down rosters right before opening day. That's why I think the first one includes all of your depth pieces, and then the second one is your slimmed down 26. So we're taking a look at the first one here. It has us 4th in the division, 83 and 79, but a cut below the top three. The Orioles are at 112 wins. The Yankees and Red Sox are at 91 and 92 respectively. I read them out of order like a goof. And then we're at 83. So that's a cut below. You got the Orioles kind of by themselves, Red Sox, Yankees, than us with the Rays and the Tigers. So we want to be further apart from those teams and closer to the Red Sox and Yankees there. Nobody was in the top hitters for us, and then top pitchers. Nope, nobody still. Baltimore all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the hitters, including Manzo, and 2 of the pitchers, Bernsey and Grayson. They're unbelievable. Yankees all over the joint too. They have Aaron Judge, Jason Dominguez, Tarek Skubal, Carlos Rodon, Tarek Skubal, and Garrett Cole. How do they have Tarek Skubal? What the freaking hell, dude? Oh God, he was just traded this offseason. Man, the Tigers were just selling. Maybe we should have jumped in on that because I don't know. I guess I didn't want to rip off my team and look like I was just being a homer attacking the Tigers because they were trying to give us Riley Green, who they did eventually trade. I think I covered that last episode, didn't I? That he did eventually get moved. He's a red. Ooh, that could work out so well in that ballpark. Are you kidding? And what'd they give for him? Nick Lodolo and Victor Mesa Jr. Yes, that does ring familiar. I think we did check in on that. But then for Skubal, they got a boatload of players. Let's see if any of them are any damn good. So they got Ike Irish, cool name, decent catcher, top 43rd prospect, so that's a good rating. I don't know. OSA likes him a bit more than our guy, but he's got low work ethic, so I'm dubious on that, and a modest defensive profile. I'd actually rather trade a little bit of the bad upside for a better defensive profile and high work ethic if I could. But he's a Michigan boy as well, so maybe that plays a little bit of a role. Everson Pereira, okay, he has developed a little bit. He's now a 50 with 60 potential. Great defense, great speed profile, but the bats come along a bit more. Strikeouts still a big issue, though. 45 avoid K, puts up a 30% K rate last year, albeit in a limited time, only 42 games with the Yankees. So he's still pretty young, 24 years old. This is not a bad get. This basically replaces Riley Green, though. And then they also got Brando Maya, and he is somebody who's very young, 20 years old. Does some upside here. Quality outfielder with a great speed profile. Not much of a bat. But at age 20, maybe has some time to work into it. Not a bad piece. Max Bellew. I don't have anything nice to say, and I learned that maybe you shouldn't say anything at all in that instance. And then Jesus Rodriguez is the final piece. He's a catcher of modest import, better glove, more complete glove, I guess, but still pretty modest. So all in all, I don't love it. It's kind of a quantity over quality situation that the Tigers got, and that the Tigers got from the Yankees. I don't blame the Yankees. We do trades like that too. When it's available, sometimes you take the advantage of that, and you end up getting an ace for not a ton. Now I will say, Skubal has not been full ace-like, and he does have a 45 BABIP, which is pretty terrible. It has 55 potential, so there's a path to getting really good again, but he was a 4.55 ERA, 1.35 WHIP last year. So I'll back off on, pretending that the Yankees pulled a heist or anything like that. It just was a bit jarring to see that. All right, then as spring went, you want to look at spring training? I know most of y'all don't care about the record, nor do I. We went 14-11. Who cares? What you really care about, or might have some interest in, would be the results. Now, obviously, I've already slimmed this down to 15 players. We need to get rid of one more, but we'll just sort by WRC plus here, since it doesn't tabulate WAR during spring. Charlie Condon with a big spring. You love to see it. 69 very nice plate appearances with a 175 WRC plus. Gabriel Arias, Bo Naylor, both playing well. I love seeing that. J-Ram and Andres Jimenez, love to see them doing well because, the veterans just getting their season going. Hayden Boggs, our big newcomer, our big South African 33-year-old power hitter coming in and hitting 4 spring homers, like to see that as well. Johnny DeLuca, fighting for his life out here. And I got to be honest, it might not be enough still. 116 WRC plus, quality spring, still might lose out to Jay Allen, who's a Rule 5 pickup from Cincinnati, because I love that glove so dang much. And DeLuca has options still. And then the worst guy was Rocchio at a 70 in terms of guys that played a bunch. Actually, I guess, no, they split out the time pretty well. I will say, that's something that the game does so well that you don't have to manage. Trying to get everybody in spring playing time, they balance it out beautifully. 78 plate appearances on the high end, 43 on the low end. And as you can see, all the starters, except for Bo Naylor mixing in there, are the top, the green names mean that they're in the starting lineup, and they're the top plate appearance guys, except Naylor sneaking in 1 plate appearance ahead of Rocchio. So they balance it beautifully. I do love that. You don't have to worry about mixing and matching everybody in there. But anyway, what I was going to say is among our regular starters, Rocchio had the worst spring, but he's coming off an amazing season. We're not going to freak out about that. Lonnie White Jr. wasn't amazing at an 88 WRC plus. I'm not going to be tweaking out about that either. 206 BABIP for him, 256 for Rocchio. And just as, it's also worth pointing out when a guy has a huge BABIP, like 353 for Bo Naylor, 352 for Andres Jimenez. So it goes both ways on that. 426 BABIP for Patrick Bailey. Bottom line is we stayed pretty clean on the batting side, and that's all good. On the pitching side, we did sustain a couple of injuries, but they're both almost working their way back. That's why I didn't lead off the episode with them, because there is no real reason, to panic massively. Franco Alamon and Shane Bieber essentially missed spring, which does stink, but they're going to be back in a week and 2 weeks respectively. So 2 and 3 weeks respectively when you throw in an extra rehab, which I'm going to give both of them. So not too far. They're going to miss a little bit of April. All in all, if that's the worst that we have to deal with early on, okay, we'll take it. Alamon got, I don't even know if he got a start. Actually, I think he did. That's how he got hurt. He had 2 spring starts. Okay. And then Bieber, he got 2 as well. So they both got a couple spring starts. We'll get him at least a start or 2 in the minors there once they're ready to go. All right, so now we are at 13 pitchers. We need to get rid of 1, and 15 hitters. We need to get rid of 1. So we got 1 cut on each side, and I think I know where they're going to be. Now, the easiest thing would be to just get rid of both of our Rule 5 guys. We brought them on thinking, hey, we'll give them both a shot. We'll see what's what. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. By the way, did I cover that I got those guys? Oh, I did the Rule 5 on in the video. That's right. Okay. Because I was looking for this guy's name, Jack Neely, the guy that we got from the Yankees, in my little rundowns here that I do, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, did I just not cover that? But I forgot I did the Rule 5 live on the episode. We'll do it live. And we lost 712 guys. So anyway, we picked up Jack Neely, and it was always like, hey, it's an interesting live arm. If he fights for a spot and gets it, cool. But if not, he's probably got to go. I already had to DFA Caleb Ferguson because he wouldn't get demoted. And I get it. He's 29. He's been around the block a bunch. He doesn't have to get a demotion, so I respect his option there. Have fun. We'll talk to you later because we can't really afford to hold you right now. Then I'm looking and I'm like, well, who else goes? And if you're talking about meritocracy, and I like to do this a little bit with the last spot on the roster with pitching, like kind of make it a spring battle and really not just blindly use the numbers, because believe me, when it suits us, I will say, hey, this guy's talent is way better. We're just going to keep this guy and we'll be done with it. But when the talent is equal, then we start to look to the spring stats and kind of have a little spring training battle. And Jack Neely was so far and away our worst pitcher in spring, it wasn't even funny. Like, he just gagged all over himself. If you sort by strikeout minus walk, first off, we only have 1 guy under 11%, and that's Tanner Bybee at 9%, which is pretty modest. It's not very good, but not the end of the world either for spring. Then we have -3% Jack Neely. -3%. That's just horrendous. And I know it's 12 2/3. We're not saying he could never possibly be good. He does have 6 shutdowns, 3 meltdowns. It happens. Like, I don't have a good reason for it, but we can't keep you because I don't know if there's anybody else better to send down, except as I'm thinking about it. Now, again, it would go against the idea of merit-based, because we would be sending down somebody who undeniably had a better spring, because if you basically just showed up and didn't poop your pants, you had a better spring than Jack Neely. But I wonder if, as I'm looking at this setup here, we now have 4 lefties all of a sudden. We're going to bring in a righty into the bullpen from the rotation here, Bradish or Bybee. And based on the results, it is going to be Bybee. So let's do that. So now we're looking at 4-4. I wonder if we actually get rid of a lefty here and keep Neely around a little bit longer. And then I'm looking at someone like Logan Allen, who I know came into this sim as somebody with some expectation, right? You know, big time rookie season in 2023. We're going to carry that on. He's going to be one of our quality lefties. He was pretty good in 24. And he was okay last year. He's kind of a slightly league average. I mean, you look at it, he's on either end of league average the last 2 years from an ERA plus standpoint, which is a very rudimentary way to go off of it, but 109 and 94. So kind of living in that band there where he's a little bit below average or a little bit above. We haven't really seen anything beyond that because his whips are so high. He allows just too many damn base runners. I wonder if sending Logan Allen out actually makes a little bit more sense. We hang on to Neely a little bit longer and we go from there, because he had an all right spring, 15% strikeout minus walk, amazing results, 106 ERA and whip, like just really good results there. But the skills were suspect. Neely's were atrocious. Let's look at the game log here on Neely. Brutal outing, and then his very first one, 4 runs in the third of an inning. Just a nightmare brutal outing. So those 3 brutal outings are carrying a lot of weight. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into this. We're going to send out Logan Allen, and he might not like that. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, he's still in a good mood. He understands. Okay, he gets it. He gets it. We respect it. He's like, you know what? I didn't make the grade, but I'm going to go down to AAA. I'm going to be the ace down there, and I'm going to work my way back up. Good. We like to see that. All right, so then that takes care of that. So we are going to keep the Rule 5 Jack Neely. On the other side, do both Rule 5s survive? Because originally, when I set that up about the Rule 5s leaving, I have on here Jack Neely getting sent back to New York. Like, I wrote that down before the episode because I was set that I was going to get rid of him. But changed my mind, so I'm going to change that to beats out Logan Allen. So now it's Jay Allen the second versus Johnny DeLuca. And this is a tough battle. Obviously, based on spring, it's DeLuca by miles. He had a competent spring. He's a pretty good defender. Easy peasy. He's been on this team. You know, that's not the end of the world there to just kind of stick with the status quo. On the other hand, Jay Allen's 23 years old and has such an amazing glove. Holy crap. Now he's making the jump from high A, which is big and difficult. But can we afford to do this right now? I think yes. I think we can. So I'm going to send out DeLuca. Hopefully he doesn't get too upset about it. And there's our roster. DeLuca should be starting, right? Boom. Starting left fielder. There you go. Chase DeLauder got sent out too. That's kind of biggish news because, you know, he's somebody we had some expectations of coming into the year. But this power just hasn't developed. And it's just really been uninspiring. All right, so then that decides that. We're at 14. I'm a big 14-12 guy. 14 hitters, 12 pitchers. Other people go 13-13. I don't disrespect that. I think that's totally viable. Did I make the biggest biff ever? My favorite biff, which is to accidentally start our... No, okay. Plus, we have 3 off days. So we have 1 final spring training. I was making sure Cantillo was actually going to be available. Yeah, Bradish is going to start the final one. Perfect. So I actually timed that up brilliantly. By accident, I might add. All right, so let's do that final spring game. Bang. Don't anybody get hurt. Come on now. Okay, we'll take an L. That's fine. I'm not going to cry about that. All right, so now we've got our squad. Khalil Watson going to make the team too as like a super backup. Meaning I kind of want him to get in some games. Even though Rocchio and Jimenez are awesome, I might shave a few games off their ledger. Now, Rocchio had a half season, I want to point out. I talked about how great his season was, because it was. But it was still a half season, and you have to be careful, not just doubling that up and saying, oh my God, he's a superstar. So we're going to get Watson in every third game there. in every 5th game for Jimenez. So nothing too crazy, but enough to kind of get in the mix a bit. And then we've got Arias for third base and for like a double backup shortstop. Oh, he's already there. All right, and then Jay Allen will back up center and right. Kerstead backing up left. That doesn't really make sense because he's starting in right. So we'll put Stowers there even though he's DH. We're going to get Bo Naylor in with some frequency too. Every 3rd game behind the dish, and then every 4th game at DH. We gotta see if we can turn him into something. He really needs to kind of figure some things out, hopefully. Condon gonna bat 5 or 6. We'll bat him 5 against righties, 6 against lefties. Interestingly enough, despite him being a righty, he's gonna bat a little bit higher against righties because of his splits. So then over here, we're going to go Stowers there. Jay Allen. And where's Condon? Condon batting second? I don't think so. All right. We'll go Roquio, Jimenez, Ramirez, Bloggs, Kerstead, Condon, White, Bailey, Fry against lefties. All right, cool. I like how that's looking. Cantillo, Raylo, B. Woody, McKenzie, Bradish are our starters right now. Let's get, or no, we're just doing straight up 9th inning for Class A. High leverage. And then our stoppers, I guess, dang, it was supposed to be Alamon and who else? I forget who the other one was going to be. I can't remember right now. But I had guys set aside and now throw in the 2 injuries to pretty big pitchers. And I'm like, dang, that flips that upside down. Actually, I said I was going to start Alamon. So maybe I had moved, did I move Bybee into stopper? No, I don't know if I would do that. Can Heron handle it? Heron or Funderburk? Because we want a lefty who can miss some bats. And then we're going to give Neely the shot. You know what? We're going to trust his skills. Coming off that rotten spring, we're going to go the other way. We're going to say we're going to stay committed to what we think you can be. And we're going to pair him up with Tim Heron. We'll pop the high leverage on both of them. Bybee will get the use more often. Arias and Funderburk will get specialist. All right, there we go. All right, so we got strategies set. Everything's ready to go. Let's get to opening day. We'll go up. We'll see what the predictions are going to look like. And see if they like us better when they see just our 26 against the other 26s out there, you know? Maybe, maybe not. And that's okay too. We don't need the predictions to like us. I'm not crying. I don't even care what these stupid predictions say. No, I like doing well in the predictions. It's fun. It's never an end-all, be-all one way or the other, but it's always fun to look at, right? Just a neat little thing that they do. But I think it's just like a sim. It's not super rigorous or anything. Did you know Jamie Moore? Oh, I missed it. I was trying to read the did you know. Turns out I don't know. All right, this one's taking a long time because I guess we're doing a save. In addition to that, boom, oh, we got a bunch of emails. Oh yeah, so we did a second wave of developments, and as you can see, modest. But we'll take a look at the top 100 prospects, the predictions. All right, so expectations, achieve a winning season better than 500. Okay, we can do that, sure. Oh, I have that expectation as well. Boom. Sukyung Namgung, that's what I'm going with. I don't know if that's correct. Let me know. But boom, gets boosted on the base stealing. Stealing improves just under 5. Aggressiveness improves by... Okay, so wait. I don't know if that's actually good yet, though. I don't know if I want the aggressiveness. When the aggressiveness is over the ability, that can be concerning. Now, I don't know. This is a new speed setup this year, and it's much more intuitive than it has been in past years, to be honest. In past years, it has not been very good. But now you have it broken down so that you know what things are. But I think we don't want him being super aggressive if his ability isn't better or equal. So I still think we want to be careful with his base stealing. We'll keep tabs on it. Looks like he's being controlled by the minor league. We'll leave this. I don't mind that they have this set up, and hopefully it works out well. Khalil Watson, base running improves by 5. Let's go. We'll take that. Goes up to a 60. because you can only do defense and base running ones for the second go round, but it's still worth doing. You get 2 in each year. You get kind of the main foundational one and then a little tack on one. In defense and base running, that is valuable, right? Like, don't skip those just because they're not the game-changing power or avoid K or learning a new pitch if it's a pitcher. Now, the only downside is there's not really much for pitchers to do in the second wave. As you can see here, I did all hitters just because, like, I'm not going to improve the pitcher's defense. I don't really care about that. And then, like, bunting techniques, we have a DH, so we don't need that. All right, Charlie Condon doesn't get anything with his defense. Okay, that's fine. Hayden Boggs, no defense. Chase DeLauder, no defense. Bo Naylor, no defense. Now, that one was hard. At catcher, it's a bit harder to improve, and he's not very good, so I didn't expect that one. Kerstead, no improvement. Billings, boom. Gets a little right field action. Improved himself because he's looking like a DH right now. But with a little bit improved defense like that, maybe there's something. It's such an all-or-nothing bat, though, that I don't have the highest of hopes regardless. Mason Hour improves his base running fundamentals. Let's go. Look at that base running profile. That's beautiful. And, all right, we're going to be facing a little two-gamer against the Jays. Jose Barrios and Kyle Bernovich. Sergio Morales comes in with a report. What do we got on this gent? All right, stuff going up. Oh, yeah, let's go. That's a nice report. Did I know about this guy yet? Is he on any short list? Okay, yeah. So this is one of the off-season international finds, and I liked him right away. But he was on low scouting, so we got some nice improvements here. This was not blue yet, the stuff. So that alone is pretty good. Now, the stuff's going to have to carry him because he's still 16, and obviously there's not too much else going on. But if this stuff comes through, it's kind of a trickle down when it comes to the other ratings. If you've got that good of stuff, especially this young, and you can really work to improve it, which he's got the personality to do so, there can really be some big improvements. So I like where Sergio Morales is at. That could be a big find for us. Top 100 list. See what we're looking at here. Top 10. Charlie Condon, number 6. All right, it's going to be his last year. We'll milk it. We'll take the top prospect rating, or the high prospect rating, I should say, for our system. But we know, like, this is it because he's going to have to show out this year and really graduate from the system. But let's see where that puts our system. Having a top 10 prospect definitely helps. We are number 1. Wow. Okay, I did not expect that. But we have 3 in the top 15, including Chase Shores, our number 1 pick from last year at 14, and then Namgung coming in at 15. Now that's huge because we pick him up out of Korea at age 22, and the prospect folks love him. Now, I'm not as ambitious that he's going to be a top 15 type of guy. I think he's more of, top 100, but probably in the back 30 with this profile, but we'll see. The gap is off the charts, makes a crap ton of contact. He's kind of a better Stephen Kwan. Right? If we just compare it to somebody that we used to have and just compare these two, it's just a better version, right? He does everything better. Now, just a markedly better gap profile. 5 on the home run. He gives 5 to Kwan on the eye. Okay. But then equal avoid K. Much better speed profile. Even though Kwan's is good, that's just speaking of Namgung, how good his is. And then the defense actually goes maybe a little bit. It's probably about even in the composite, but plus 5 error goes to Kwan, which, hey, credit where it's due. You're making fewer errors. But either way, 22 years old, they really like Old Slugger. By the way, that's an amazingly hilarious, ironic nickname, Slugger with 40 power. And then Latore, our international signing, comes in at 25. Okay, so we really changed the system this offseason with Namgung and Latore coming in and Lonnie White Jr. coming in at 58. 3 acquisitions from different avenues that fundamentally change what we've got here. The international free agent market, the international amateur market, and trade. We go out, make 3 moves, and end up with 3 top 60 prospects. That's pretty hot. What have we got beyond that? Okay, it's just those 5 within the top 60, but then our next 2 are just inside the top 200. Chris Lenovis at 195 and Jackson Humphreys at 196. Okay, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. So we don't have as much depth, but our top end is brilliant. And 3 of those guys are going to be big. 2 of those guys are going to be major contributors for sure. Condon and Lonnie White Jr. At least they're expected to be. And then Namgung is on the cusp. He can fill in basically if one of them flops. We would turn to him. It'd be not impossible, but unlikely that all three would be in the outfield at the same time. That would probably be bad news because that would mean that Kerstead got hurt or greatly underperformed. All right, so then that's the top 100. We're looking good there. I think it's prediction time. Are these the new ones? Yes, they are. Okay, so now we are in third. This is a totally different makeup. They've still got the Orioles out on an island at the top as the monsters, but only 101 wins this time instead of 112 or whatever it was last time. The Rays are second at 89. Then there we are at 87. The Yankees and the Red Sox came down to us at 86 and 82 respectively. So now we're part of the second cluster. It's the four of us behind the Orioles. And then the Tigers, Dachshunds, and Jays. Actually, the Tigers and Dachshunds at 76 and 75. And then the Jays in the freaking Earth's core at 57. That's a nightmare. When the prediction has you for 57, you know you're in deep, deep trouble. Because predictions are supposed to be kind of neutral, kind of modest, not too outliery one way or the other. So when they got you at 57, that's brutal. All right, so I'm fine with this. The bottom line is we're still all chasing the Goliath Orioles. They're unbelievable. Did we get anybody in the top 10s? Brandon Woodruff, our new acquisition. Okay, so that's cool. Nobody that's been around. That would have been kind of cool. Instead, to have somebody that we've already got, but our brand new pitcher, Brandon Woodruff, coming into town and saying, hey, projections like me. I'm ready to have a big season with y'all. And you know what, B. Woody? We're ready for it. In the National League, the Dodgers are the Titans over there, 101 wins. Then you've got the Brewers leading the Aaron division with 94. The Cubs at 93 behind the Dodgers in the Koufax division. And then a big cluster of 80-something win teams across the two divisions. By the way, in the American League Ryan, our other division, it's the Twins and Mariners tied at 93 wins projected each. 85 for the Rangers, 80 for the White Sox, and then some 70s and 60s down at the bottom there. The Astros and Royals, terrible. Angels and A's, the worst. I mean, the Jays are the worst. And then Portland projected 55, even worse than the Jays. Holy crap. Yes, those two teams are looking bad. And don't forget, Jacksonville Irish, those are your Miami Marlins. Or no, your Colorado Rockies. Pardon me. Which is just hilarious that they moved to Jacksonville to be the Irish. The Jacksonville Irish. I forget how many seasons. I think just this season. I think it was just last season. Yeah, because 24, obviously that's out of the box. So just one season so far. They're 78 and 84 as Jacksonville. Will be interesting to see if they can get out of the overall malaise that they've lived in for quite some time now that they're not in Colorado. It'll be interesting too because obviously, their park settings changed drastically, right? Assuming they went to a new ballpark. Yeah, so they got a much more neutral ballpark. It just fundamentally changes everything. I am curious if they do kind of figure some things out. It could be kind of interesting there. All right, so let's get started. Let's kick this season off. We'll get a little bit into April probably, maybe to about the 23rd here where we've got this off day, just to kind of get it going. I am trying to slim down the episodes a little bit more to make them more consumable. I've talked about this going through last season, acknowledging that hey, some of these episodes get a bit long, especially when we go every other day and we're consistent. I will say one silver lining with the inconsistent posting schedule is that it has allowed folks to catch up. So I will say that that's at least one sort of positive out there. I don't want to do that. I'd like to have more of a consistent schedule, but at least we got people caught up, so that helps. Let's kick off opening day here. Joey Cantillo against Jose Barrios. They messed up their situation where Tiedemann can't start for some reason. Did they do what I do all the time, which is start him on the last day of spring? I can't even laugh at them if that's what they did. Yeah, they started him on April 1st. Because again, I have literally done that. And it's embarrassingly stupid. So I'm glad I didn't do that. Let's see what we've got here. Opening day, 2026. Bang, win, 10-4. Caleb Ferguson, you sure you don't want to get demoted? Okay, well, then you're getting cut. get Homer Simpson out here to cut him. I will have to pay $530,000. Oh wait, we got him for 2 more years. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. 2 years left. Now 90% being paid. If I just get rid of him, this is not the end of the world in any way, shape, or form. I would have no problem with this. But I wonder if maybe it's better to try to trade him. I did forget about the contract. There might be somebody interested at such a cheap contract for a decent lefty. Like, he's not bad. We just got lefties for days, and I was just trying to make cuts. All right, none of this looks terribly appealing, but I still might just take somebody just to not get nothing. Even this guy, Josh Morgan, why not? Because he's terrible is the answer, but I still might do it. Trenton Brooks, he's actually not the worst. Now, all these guys are literally 30 on the dot. Is Ferguson 30? No, he's 29, about to be 30. So they're trying to get a younger guy. They're trying to rip us off. No, okay, I shouldn't complicate this because we can just do this, and if somebody wants to go down to AAA, cool. That's all we're trying to do here is get a AAA piece. It's honestly Morgan or Lewis. We don't need somebody that needs to go on the 40. Morgan v. Lewis. Lewis is just better. And he's not fragile. He should be, but he's not. So there you go. All right, cool. We'll just do this. Just so we're not cutting him. We get something. Is Kyle Lewis going to be part of this team? No. Not in any tangible way, I hope. If he is, then something's probably gone wrong. Let's just be honest about it. We'll put him in AAA. There you go. Caleb Ferguson, see ya. All right. So we get the opening day win. 10-4. You love to see it. Over and out on that one. 5 ribbies for Condon. Let's go. Patrick Bailey with 2 homers on opening day. Noah Syndergaard's back in Toronto, throwing some relief, and Charlie Condon goes bomb pop off of him. We love to see it. We wish the best for Thor. Longtime Thor fan myself. He is so cooked, unfortunately. Bailey with 2 opening day homers. That's pretty hot. All right, let's see if we get a little 2-game sweeper here. Almon's got to be coming back soon to go on rehab. Raylo dead arm 5 days. Okay, that stings. But we're just going to bench him, of course. We're not going to put him on the IL for that. Just pop him on the bench for 5 days, which is fine. It's pretty much the time he needs to return. But then we'll slot somebody in for 1 start. Latore, speed. Oh, current speed improves. Cool. All right, so then we win 3-2 in 11. Love to see it. Andres Jimenez, RBI single to win it. Oh, Stowers had to get us a run in the bottom of the 10th, too. Very nice. So we come back in the 10th and the 11th. The 11th, obviously, being the time that we won it. Damn, Raylo only went 2 1/3. He was pitching well. That stinks. They got to use Tiedemann in game 2, so it wasn't all bad. Not the end of the world. All right, Alamon's back. We're going to go ahead and throw him on a rehab just because he really didn't get to pitch much in spring. We're going to do the same for Bieber in a week, and we'll be through that. You know, hopefully it won't take too long, and we have both of them back. Juan Morales getting another scouting update. Current stuff and velo going up. Let's go. We love to see that. Another live. Wait, was this the guy that I was looking at the beginning? Maybe it was. Either way, great stuff. David gone. Interesting. Potential movement goes down, but he got this big update in March, so that was good. Oh yeah, I didn't look at the player dev report from April 1st. Khalil Watson got contact. Jimenez got some gap. Rocchio some pop. Nothing too crazy here in terms of pluses or minuses. Then you get down here to Tyler Thornton, 25-year-old. That's a pretty big jump. I moved him to AAA. He's still got 30 control, so he's going to be facing an uphill battle regardless. But it's a very, very live arm with 80 stuff. Figure let's at least get him into AAA and see what he can do. I do like to see these improvements here, but we need some control before we can ever trust you. And then some decent little gains here. Connor Shore's got some boosts, although he did get some negatives too. His potential stuff and control both came down, but his velo went up to 97, 99. His current control went up. So pluses and minuses there that all in all, I don't hate it. I do love the stuff. We're going to hope that he hits the ground running in high A to the point where ideally we have him in AAA by the end of the year, but at least AA. so we'll keep tabs on him for sure. Rogelio Campos got some nice jumps. Gap, contact, and speed. Billings lost some pop. That's a bummer because that's really the only thing he has. So yeah, all in all, not too bad. Some decent stuff, some negatives, but I'm not worried one way or the other on anything. All right, Baltimore for 2 in Baltimore, and they got off to a 1-1 start. And game 3, and we lose 9-4. Boo. Game 2, we win 7-0. Let's go. All right, so we split against them. McKenzie with a brilliant outing, 8 scoreless on 11 Ks, 3 hits, no walks. That's fantastic. All right, are we back to Raylo yet? No, not yet. He's still got 2 days on his dead arm. And then it'll be Bradish, then Cantillo, right? Yeah, so we should be good here. Do Bradish for this Yankees game. We lose 7-5. Bradish gets cooked. Actually, I mean, he did. Like, you give up 7 earned in 6 2/3, you're getting cooked. But 5 of them came in the 7th. Looks like he got left in a little too long, and maybe some inherited runners scored too. I don't know. Let's see here. No, he gave up the grand slam. No, Heron came in and got the last out, so he gave up all the damage. I'm thinking, how do we let it get to this point? I have a problem with that. Why is Bradish not being pulled at a point to not face Judge there? There's just no way that's the right move, you know? So let's lower his hook because I hate that. If it's Cantillo or even Raylo and Bieber when he's back, you know, that's one thing. But Bradish, our 5-starter? Come on, man. And I'm not even sure that I love it with the studs based on the scenario, but it's a little bit more understandable. With Bradish, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. All right, game 2 against the Yankees, we lose that one. Tim Herron, speaking of the devil, out 6 weeks with a herniated disc. That stinks. So we'll go ahead and throw him on the IL. Alamon just threw his first rehab. He got smoked. No problem. 3 days until we get Bieber back. If anybody's standing out right now, probably just bring up Cade Smith. He's on the 40. I don't want to ruffle any feathers right now because it's temporary anyway. Because whoever comes up right now is probably going to come right back down when I'm ready to promote Alamon. So I'm not trying to like find our next big guy type of vibe. All right, so Cade Smith will go into middle relief. Now it is Raylo's turn. He's ready to go. Boom. So there was no concerns there. I figured it'd be fine, but I just put him on the bench just to be sure, and then we could reassess it today. He looks good to go. Let's see if he can salvage a win for us here against the Yankees before we head out to Detroit for 4. It's actually going to be a big road trip. 4 in Detroit, 3 in Atlanta, and 3 in Pittsburgh. And that'll cap off the episode. We do get a 2-1 win thanks to Raylo. Ooh, Juan Geiler. We talked about him. Another big piece of the international market. Big lefty comes in and goes CG against us, the 8-inning CG. But we get the dub. We got 2 runs off of him, and it was Rocchio and Ramirez driving in runs. Raylo 5 2/3 strong with 11 punchies. Love to see it. And the bullpen takes care of business. Neely gets a hold against his former team, and he's pitching well. See, staying committed to the baseball card ratings here instead of the spring stats served us well so far. It's 2 weeks into the season. I need to relax on that. It's actually like a week plus, not even 2 weeks. So I really need to relax on saying it served us. So far, it's been good, but that doesn't mean shit yet. All right, Bieber's back. We get the first 2 against the Tigers. Throw Biebs on a rehab. Let's get Alamon one more start and then bring him up. We've got Mauricio Bilboa. Doesn't look like much. I'll do a scout, but I'm not even putting him on the international fines list right now because not much to go off of there. 4-1 and 9-2 wins at the Tigers. Game 3, another win, 7-3, make it 4 straight maybe. Bang, 5-2 win. 4 straight against the Tigers, 5 straight overall. We head to Atlanta. Let's keep boogieing here. Actually, we win that one 16-7. Let's see what the offense did there. Doubles galore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 doubles, 2 homers. Not bad. Great stuff there. Oh, wow. J-Ram, 0 for 6 with a walk. Could you imagine? You know what I'm going to say. If If you're a fantasy player, you're opening up that box score, you're thinking J-Ram went crazy, and you get an 0 for 6. Oh my God, the frustration. But if you had any other Guardians on your fantasy team, you feel good about that. Everyone else did something. Even Bo Naylor only went 1 for 5, but had 3 ribs. So you can't even be bummed about that. You know, Blogs only went 2 for 4 with no ribs, but had 2 runs. So you can't be bummed about that. That's not bad. You got a piece of it. But J-Ram, you literally got nothing. You got nothing. So that stinks. All right, let's see what Almon's up to. Let's go to AAA. Did he get a second start yet? He did. I don't think it went well again. Again, I don't really care. Oh, no, it went much better. Okay, yeah, ZRA was higher than I thought there. So he goes 4 1/3, 4 runs the first time, 6 innings, 2 runs on this one. Still allowed 8 hits, but 6 Ks, no walks. So that's good. Almon's back. We're going to go ahead and get him for his next start, but we don't want to bring him up yet because why bring up a guy that is super tired? Let's just keep the other guys up for 3 days, and then we'll bring him up. Jackenzie Noel ripped 3 bombs in a AAA game. Cool. That's nice. Oh, he's off to a fantastic start. He has 10 bombs in 10 games. That's pretty sweet. It's not going to get him a call-up or anything, but it is pretty cool. All right, facing Atlanta here. Let's finish off this series. Take a trip to Pittsburgh. Okay, we finally break our win streak with an 8-1 loss. Let's get the last game here in Atlanta. Please take the series. Don't waste the Detroit sweep by giving it right back in Atlanta. Let's get a save and a series here. 7-3 loss, so we end up dropping it. That's annoying. So we're 9-5. All right, so let's go ahead and go Cade Smith. Actually, Funderburk has been a nightmare. Are you too proud to get sent out? Let's see. No, he's not. Okay, good. Good. We picked him up off waivers. Speaking of waivers, I should check it. Oh my God. I love Jose Soriano. I'm such a fan of his in real life. I really want to pick him up, but man, we just don't need a pitcher. And he's got low work ethic and intelligence too, so I'm probably not going to be able to improve this 40 control. Okay, I can resist. Colby White, same issue though, at least in terms of the control. Damn, those are some appealing arms. We really don't need another arm though. Like, I know that's usually the best thing that you're going to find on the wire. Although 25-year-old Captain Ronnie Mauricio doesn't look too bad here, but at the same time, again, I don't know that we need him. We're not a perfect team. I'm not trying to imply that at all. But are these tangible upgrades to what we have? Like, is Ronnie Mo better than Arias? I don't think so. Is he better than Khalil Watson? Not tangibly, if at all. So no, I just don't think adding from the waiver wire there makes any sense. Funderburk got sent out for Alamon. Promote him to Cleveland. Go back here. Now, Bradish. You know what? We're going to let Bradish get this last start, but we're going to go 6-man for 1 turn through, and then we'll take Bradish out. So let's get the start for Bradish here because Alamon's only at 91%, and I don't want to push it, right? It's April 20th. There's no need to push anything, especially on a 35 stamina pitcher that we're kind of stretching as a starter as is. But we've got 1, 2, 3 guys in the white, meaning that they're at, full stamina or full enough to pitch 85. We have our threshold here set at 70%. So the way I look at it is we've got our starter Bradish plus 3 guys that can definitely go. And then Cade Smith could go. He's at 67%. You don't want to throw him, but he could. And then even Curry and Bybee could if it break glass in case of emergency situation. So we're not totally shorthanded here, even though we are kind of running six-man rotation here for a day. So let's just do this. Game 1 at Pittsburgh. They are 8-5. Mets are 12-1, by the way. Shouts to them. All right, Rocchio suspended for 3 games. Okay. Donnybrook, Fracas. Ooh, damn. Okay. Oh, he went after the umpire. You know what? I'll pay your fine. I got it. Rokes, I got it. I'll pay the fine, bro. Just send it over. No problem. I saw. It was a bullshit call. Dude, how amazing is Paul Skeens? He's off to an impossibly bad start. 14.40 ERA, which is hilarious. But he is so good. And how good is he in real life, man? Oh, so nice to see another mustachioed Paul S. take the world by storm. Mustachioed Paul S. is fucking rule. All right, so Bradish gets the dub, 4-3. Actually, I don't know if he got the dub, but we win while he's starting. And he does get the dub, 6 1/3, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 runs total. Neely gets a 2-inning save, love to see it. Go back here, pop Aylmon into the 5 spot, put Bradish into the bullpen, back to a 5-man. Actually, no, don't always start highest rested. Because we want, actually, I'm going to just do strict order here just to make sure Aylmon starts because I don't want him to be skipped. You want your ace to get starts when they can, and normally they would just go to Cantillo here, but I want Aylmon to get the start here. So I'm going to go strict order. Season debut for Franco Aylmon as a starter. 6-4 win. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, and 9 Ks. Excellent outing. We love to see it. So we might have really hit on something with Aylmon here. I don't want to get too excited because it's literally 1 start, but you know, things have really materialized nicely with him. He's been great throughout the sim. He had a nice relief season in 2024. Upped it another level last year with 118 innings in 71 appearances, kind of showing that, hey, I've got some volume. And then when he had the control boost in the development camp, we said, okay, if he gets that, we're going to let him start. Because now he's got 60 control, which will help, take the brunt of a 35 stamina a little bit by being more efficient. So even if he's only got, X number of pitches, let's say he's kind of a max 95 pitch type of guy, he can get 5-6 innings more consistently with that by having great control. And he goes 91 pitches here to go 5 2/3. So that's great. I'm very excited about that with Aylmon. I cannot wait to see how his season goes. Jesus Latona, take a little scout on him. There could be a little something here. It's light right now, but we'll take a scout and see what's up with him. All right, last game against Pittsburgh. We'll wrap up the episode here because we're heading into an off day. And we get the sweep. Let's go. So we dropped that series in Atlanta. That's fine. We dropped the one against New York. All in all, we take a 4-game set in Detroit. We sweep 2 from the Jays to open the season at home. We split 1-1 in Baltimore, and we take 3 in Pittsburgh. So add it all up, and we're 12-5 here, 2+ weeks into the season. We are atop the division, which is great, but it's very early. Looking over the stats, Aylmon's been excellent in his start. Obviously, that's 1 start. Sort by strikeout minus walk. You see Raylo at 30%. Cade Smith, 27% in his 4 innings since coming up. McKenzie, 26% in 21 innings. That's more impactful because he's a starter, and he's made all his turns, so he's been great. You got some laggards down here that are struggling, but nothing too crazy. Nothing that I'm terribly worried about just yet. On the hitting side, we got Rocchio suspended right now. We can work around that. Sort by WAR, you see Jimenez, Rocchio, Kerstead, Lonnie White Jr., Bailey, Ramirez all at the top there. And you got a few guys, again, lagging at the bottom. Stowers is our only starter that's negative -0.1. So nothing to really go off of, just give a quick overview of the stats there. But the season is underway, y'all. When we come back, we'll be in the thick of it, seeing what's going on, heading into the draft, and where our season can go. Right now, our primary focus is to obviously get to the playoffs and defeat the Orioles. Now, if somebody else can take them out and clear the path for us, great. But we have to operate as though that's the team that is going to keep us from a World Series. So right now, everything is viewed through the prism of how can we beat the Orioles. We'll take a deeper look at that next episode. Y'all take care. Peace.